Today's subject is drop your mind, find your center. Let's enter into the today's sutra, then we will see what Shiva says in that sutra and why he is telling us to drop our mind. What's the reason? Damantachobha sambuddha sukshamagnitilakakritam bindam shikante hritaye layante dhyayato layaha. Very beautiful sloka. Sanskrit is not only important linguistically, it is important phonetically also. The very sound, the very vibration created by that mantras does something to your being, does something to you. Let me repeat the sutra, Shiva's words, then we will enter into the meaning. What Shiva means by saying the word drop your mind. Tamantachobha sambuddha sukshmagnitilakakritim bindum shikante hritaye layante dhyayato layaha. Let me give you a translation. To tell you honestly, the translation is not expressing the whole thing which is expressed in mantra in the Sanskrit original words, but this is the translation as of now available. To tell you honestly, even if I translate, I can't do anything more than that, because the Sanskrit is, that language is so profound. It is specially created to express the inexpressible, to express the truth which can't be expressed by words. So it's very poetic. What Shiva means by the sutra, I'll try to explain through this whole discourse. But what best we can do the literal translation. I'll try to give you the literal translation. Literal translation says, when on a bed or a seat, asana means comfortably. Stiram, sukham, itam, asanam. In Sanskrit we say, which is comfortable and steady for your body, which does not need your attention, which does not need your awareness. In some position, when you are in some position, if your body doesn't ask your attention, means if your body doesn't hurt you, means you are in right position, you are in right asana. When on a bed or on a seat, let yourself become weightless, beyond mind. Such a simple, wonderful technique to go beyond mind. Shiva is actually teaching how to make your whole life into meditation, how to constantly jump into the space of no mind, how to constantly jump into the space of eternal consciousness, how to jump into the peace which is in your being through all possible methods. If you are talking to somebody, he teaches you how to talk so that you can enter into meditation. If you are listening to somebody, he teaches you how to listen so that you can enter into meditation. If you are eating, he is teaching you how to eat so that you can enter into meditation. If you are drinking something, he teaches you how to drink. He is practically giving you techniques to enter into meditation using all things which you do in your life. cannot become enlightened just by one or two simple things. You can become enlightened just by one or two simple things if you are really intense. But if you are intense, then you don't need enlightenment. You are already enlightened. You are here because you are not complete, you are not intense. So naturally, just one or two things won't help. Shiva is here to open all possible doors. He is pushing you into that source, into your being, into that bliss through all possible doors. He is the first and last master who opened all the doors. There are so many masters who opened one door, two, maximum 10. Shiva is the master, first and last. But still, nobody else has done that job. He is opening all the doors. All possible doors are opened by him in this single book. According to me, this book is the unabridged dictionary of all spiritual philosophies. All spiritual philosophies are recorded, you can say, created, expressed through this book in an unabridged way, in its fullest form. He says, when on a bed or a seat, let yourself become weightless, beyond mind. If you see Shiva sitting, he is sitting in the same way only. How he says he is sitting in the same way. That's why I always tell people, Shiva is Shiva Sutra. He is expressing his own being. You can't separate Shiva and Shiva Sutra. You can't separate master and experience. When you try to have some part of Shiva or only benefits from Shiva, without accepting his wholeness, his whole being, then you are in trouble. Somebody asked me in Los Angeles, Swamiji, Shiva is represented by phallic symbol, means sex organ in India. In India, if you go to any temple, there won't be any temple in India which doesn't have that Shiva Linga. It's a sex organ. How can you worship Shiva in this form? What is this? Please be very clear. It is not just sex organ. It is the representation of creativity, energy, from where we are all born. The energy from where we all have come out. It is the representation of our father and mother energy. The universal father and mother energy. From where we all have come out. From whom we all have originated. The Linga represents the universal father, cosmic father. The Yoni represents the cosmic mother, universal mother. Through this form, we are representing the cosmic mother and cosmic father. And one more thing, unless you accept the root energy, the base energy which is in you, you can't transform it. You can't transform it. People use only few benefits which they get from master, do not understand or try to realize the whole of the master. God is only just utility for us. Like a pickle, whenever you want, you just touch it. When you don't want, you just push it aside. Small story. Guy met with an accident, taken to Mercy Hospital, emergency room. After treatment, after 2 days, he is slowly regaining from coma. He is coming back to consciousness. Doctor and nurse, both of them are standing near him. Both of them were giving confidence to him. They are saying, don't worry, you are all right. You will become all right within few days. Nurse asked, "Are you covered by insurance?" He said, "No." "Then will you pay in cash?" He said, "I am afraid I may not be able to." She asked, "Do you have any relatives?" "No, I have only one sister. She is also become nun in New York. She is a real spinster." Nurse was really offended. She said, "Don't talk. Sir, I want you to understand, nuns are not spinsters. They are married to God." He said, "Oh, in that case, send my bill to my brother-in-law." In that case, send the bill to my brother-in-law. Be very clear. God cannot be just a utility. We are all trying to use God as just an utility. We are all trying to use the Master's utility. As long as He does and says things which we can understand and agree according to our frame, things are really beautiful. Okay. But when He does something which we don't understand, which is beyond our understanding, we are not able to understand. And we start criticizing. We start opposing. Of course, we are the one who are losers. Anyhow. Now, if you see this Shiva statue, he is exactly expressing the sutra which he is speaking. Of course, you don't have to see the statue. Even if you are not able to see it, it's okay. He is just sitting straight. The same way in which he is explaining. And he is represented by a sex organ, Shivalinga. Why he is represented by that organ, and why he is sitting and meditating, what he wants to say through the sutra, and how all these three things are connected is the whole discourse. Sutra says, when on a bed or a seat, let yourself become weightless beyond mind. Shiva says, becoming weightless will take you beyond mind. Let me tell you about an experiment about which I read. Around the world, this experiment is going on. Still, doctors are trying. Doctors are trying to weigh the body of the man before death and after death. Constantly they are trying to weigh, because the East is claiming that the soul leaves the body. All the Eastern masters are claiming soul leaves the body when a person dies. They just want some proof. If something leaves the body, then naturally it should become weightless. Some weight should reduce. Because according to science, everything has got weight. According to science, everything has got weight. The big problem is science has entered into the realm of only matter. Only in matter level, everything has got weight. Now they even measured sun rays, the weight of sun rays. Say 10 square miles. The sun rays which falls on 10 square miles, if you weigh them, it comes to the weight of one hair. Now they are able to weigh even the sun rays. They have proved everything has got weight. So now the only thing which they are trying to do, they are trying to weigh a body before death and after death, so that if there is a weight difference, if there is a less weight, then they can understand the weight of the soul. They are trying their best. All over the world the research is going on. But not only weight is not reducing, suddenly the weight is increasing. See, when a soul leaves the body, not only weight is not reducing, but weight is only increasing. Now doctors are in a big confusion. Because as far as they know, everything has got weight. And all these masters and mystics are constantly repeating, soul leaves the body when you die. Then there must be weight difference. Your weight should become a little less when you are alive and after your death. But instead of weight reducing, your body is gaining the weight. What's going on? They are not able to understand. You need to understand an important secret. This is the key of this whole sutra. Your presence is weightlessness. Your presence is weightlessness. Whenever you are present inside your body, you are weightless. That is why when you leave the body, it becomes more heavy. When you leave the body, it becomes more heavy. One more thing, whenever you feel your body is heavy, that part of that body is losing your presence. If you have knee pain, you have not given your presence to the knees. That is why that portion is heavy. If you are feeling heavy in the stomach, you have not given your presence to stomach. That's why that part feels heavy. In every part, you feel heavy when you don't give your presence to that part. That is why when your presence leaves your body gains weight. Means your presence is weightlessness. By the very nature, your presence is weightlessness. When the weightlessness leaves your body becomes heavy. Not only with human beings, even with animals they are experimenting. They are experimenting even with animals. The moment the animal dies, the body becomes heavy. One more thing, and this is the amazing thing. Even before chemical change starts happening, you may say because of some chemical changes, the fluids may become solid. That may be the reason why the weight is increasing. Doctors are saying, even before the chemical changes starts happening, the moment the person is dead, immediately, because the chemical changes, it takes at least 3-4 hours. Even before the chemical changes starts happening, the weight is increasing. Still they are not able to find the mystery behind this research. They are yet to catch up with the spirituality. Thousands of years ago, Shiva says, your presence is weightlessness. Now, with so much of research, they are proving the same thing. But the problem is they are not able to clearly create a formula, technology out of this truth. Shiva has not only said the truth, he has created a beautiful technology, practical way to use this truth. He has created applied science also. Actually, all scientific discoveries, when they are doing, the person who discovers, the scientist himself is not aware of the utility or the practical application of the research or what he has discovered. Later on, they start using it, applying it in the life. Only then the person who invented suddenly realizes, oh God, there are so many ways this truth is getting used. Even Einstein was shocked when some scientists declared his theory has got practical value. In some of his letters he writes, I never thought it has got some practical value. I always thought it has got only theoretical value. Like a Big Bang theories. There are so many theories. Just yesterday I read a beautiful article. They say that now they are coming up with more and more evidence in NASA to prove in less than a microsecond, from subatomic level to macrocosmic level, the whole universe has happened. The whole universe happened from subatomic level to the macrocosmic level, to the whole universal level in less than microsecond. They are describing in a very detailed way what Taittiriya Upanishad, one of the beautiful Upanishad, it says, Atmana Akasha. From Atman, Akasha just appeared. Akashat Vayuhu, Vayor Agnihi, Agner Apaha, Apa Prithivihi, Prithivyor Annam. He says in Taittiriya Upanishad, the great seer, Rishi says, the great saint, he says, just like that, without any gap in time or in space, simply the space exploded from consciousness. From the space came the air. From the air came Agni, fire. From fire came water. From water came earth. From earth came the life, or the source of life, the seed of life. Vedas always believed, and they are always telling the universe happened just like that. They say just like that it happened, it expressed, it exploded. Now the NASA is saying the same thing. They say less than microsecond. I don't know how you will measure less than microsecond, but they say less than microsecond only it took for from subatomic level to the macrocosmic, universal level. Just like that it happened. Anyhow, whatever the scientists are trying to prove, not only the truth, the application of the truth, both are presented by these great masters. Shiva says, your presence is weightlessness. Your presence is weightlessness. Let you be very clear. This is an important key to understand this whole sutra. Taman Dachobha Sambhukta Sukshmagni Tilaka Kritim Bindum Shikante Hritaye Layante Dhyayato Layaha. Layante means non-existence or weightlessness. Even weightlessness is not a right word because I don't have any other word, I am using that word. Please understand the truth which I am expressing, which I am explaining. That will give you an idea. Beautiful sutra. Layante dhyayato layaha. It says, become weightless and enter into the laya, means beyond the mind, the weightless space itself. Let you become weightless and enter the space beyond mind. The key is your presence is weightlessness. You can see in your life, if you are feeling heaviness in some part of the body, you have not given your presence to that part of the body. You have not attended that part of the body. If you have a knee pain or stomach pain, just put your awareness on that area for 10 minutes. Simply you will see the pain will disappear. I tell you, because not only I practiced, there are so many of our devotees, disciples who are doctors, medical doctors have practiced this technique. And they say it really works so much. All you need to do is, where you have pain, just put your awareness in that area. Do not remember the word pain, just drop that word and look what is happening in that area. Just see what is happening in that area. Just relax. Just give your presence and you will see, simply you experience the weightlessness. Not only with your body, even with other persons, even in the outer world, if you are feeling heavy with somebody, give your attention, the weight will disappear. You will carry your heaviness as long as you don't have courage to give your attention to that person, as long as you don't have courage to open with that person. If you can open up and drop the heaviness, you will see even your relationship becomes weightless. You will not have weight in your head. All your ego is nothing but you not giving your presence, you not giving your awareness to that part of you. Wherever it hurts, whether it is physical, mental, relationship-wise, give your awareness, give your presence. Immediately, the hurting will disappear. Because your presence by its own nature heals. Your presence, your very presence has got the power to heal. People ask me, Swamiji, for your meditation techniques, for your healing, your presence is necessary. I tell them, my presence is not necessary, your presence is enough. For my healing to work, for my meditations to work, my presence is not necessary, your presence is enough. But you need to give your presence. You forgot how to be present. That is why you are depending on my presence. If you can be present, you don't need my presence. You don't need my presence. You are caught with so many things. You are caught in so many things. Even if you are present physically, never ever think you are present here. You can see in your life, morning when you get up and brush your teeth, already your mind is in the office, thinking and planning. When you are sitting in the office, already you are in the house, trying to clean and do something. When you are in the house, already you are in the temple or beach or in the discourse, thinking what you are supposed to do going there and what you should do, what you are supposed to do and what you are not supposed to do, with whom you want to fight, with whom you want to relate, and what you want to do this, what you plan everything. When you are in the lecture, already you are sitting here and thinking when to go back to the house. I don't know when you will finish the lecture, and I don't know when the energization will be over. I don't know how long it is going to take. I think in the gap itself I will go away. I have to go. It is getting too late nowadays. Energization is ending only in 11 o'clock. You are sitting and planning. Be very clear. If you are here, you are not here. That one thing is sure. If you are here, you are not here. You forgot how to be present. You forgot how to be simple. You forgot how to be relaxed. You forgot how to be. That is why you are constantly dependent on my presence. If you can relax into your presence, you don't need my presence. Shiva says, your presence is weightlessness. Layante means nothingness, disappearing. By your very presence, you are weightlessness. For example, feel how a cow is lying and he is there. He is eating, he is swallowing, he is drinking. But there is no being inside. He has got life, but there is no individuality. There is no personality. For your body to carry its regular things, for your body to live on this planet Earth, you don't need personality. You don't need individuality. Your body can be alive on this planet Earth without personality. Let it be very clear. Constantly you are frightened, threatened by society unless you carry your identities. Unless you hold on to your identities, you cannot protect yourself. But it is your identity which creates all physical and mental sickness. When somebody gives you torture, when somebody gives you suffering, you feel sick of them. But one thing which gives you constant suffering, which nags you whole day, you don't feel sick of that. That's your identity. Constantly you are being nagged, beaten, tortured, but you don't feel sick of it. Because society has taught you, without it you can't live. Without it you can't live. I tell you, without it you will live in a much more beautiful way, in a much more wonderful way. Whenever it is necessary, automatically your biointelligence will awaken. Even if you have to fight, automatically your being will fight. Whatever has to happen, those words will come out, that body language will express, and you will relax. You will not be bothered. You will not carry that constant irritation. I have always seen people who do rehearsal to fight, when they are on the spot, they will not be able to fight, because all the arguments which they prepared will not come to their memory. They would have prepared all the arguments. I have always seen wives or husbands, after the fight is over, when they are sitting in the sofa in different rooms, that time all the arguments which you thought you should, which did not come to the memory, will come back. Sidhubi is telling, yeah. Whatever arguments which would have helped you to win, or you think would have helped you to win, which did not come at that time, will be coming in when you are sitting alone. And you will be ready with all these arguments. When he comes back from the office, you will start again. And suddenly again you will see, after 2-3 statements, you forget the big project or which you prepared, or the big file which you prepared. It's not there again. And you wait. Again that night you will be sitting and doing your homework, remembering everything. And next day morning when you start again, you will miss. Person who fights with individuality, means having an individuality and fighting. Even fighting you won't be able to do properly. Let you be clear. You always think with individuality you can protect yourself. You can't. Because with individuality, constantly you are dependent on your past experience. You are preparing arguments. If he says this way, I will tell this way. If he talks this way, I will talk this way. If he comes this way, I will come this way. You are ready with some 10-12 type of arguments. And one important thing, present is never going to be like a past. Even if he even if he comes with the same argument, sometimes just because of your pressure or tension, you will not have exact counter argument. After fighting, after 1 hour, suddenly you remember, Arey, this is what I thought, now I forgot. You will be sitting and repenting. I think all of you will be able to relate with the example what I am saying. All of you would have gone through the same. Let it be very clear. Even in your life, you cannot protect you if you carry the identity, if you carry individuality, if you carry personality, because it is completely related to past. It is nowhere related to present. It's nothing to do with present. It's nothing to do with spontaneity. Whenever I remember a word spontaneous, I have a beautiful story. At least I think I would have told this story 100 times, but I never miss a chance to tell this story, because it is such a beautiful story. How the person who is not cultured through education or so-called civilization, how they have sharp spontaneity. You can always see person who has not gone through the so-called culture or so-called civilization, so-called education, so-called trainings, he will be more spontaneous and alive. He can handle things in a much more straight way. Because all social training is nothing but training to prepare yourself before entering into the situation. Forget about fights. Even when you go to meet your friend in the car itself, you will be preparing all the dialogues. All the dialogue. You can't even meet your friend spontaneously. Even if you go to meet your friend, you are not dependent on your spontaneity. You do not trust your spontaneity. You do not trust your weightlessness. You are preparing the file. You are preparing the file. What should I tell? It's because you have to impress him or impress her. The game of impressing is going on. Even with your friend, you cannot relax. That is why actually dialogue never happens. I can say at least after the age of 6 or 7, dialogue never happens in your life. You listen to the other person so that now you can start shouting. Actually, you listen to the other person. You are not even listening. You are preparing your argument in that gap time. So by that time, you start putting all your things and he starts preparing his argument. The listening never happens. Listening never happens. Just each one is preparing and doing only the catharsis. Actually, psychoanalysts are paid just to listen. You don't have anybody to listen in the modern day. What will you do? There is nobody to listen. You start talking to your wife, she says, keep your problems with you, I have enough. If you start talking to your husband, he says, enough, relax, I have enough. And he starts telling his stories. That is why you need psychoanalyst. He listens to your story just to he gets paid just to listen to your stories. Nothing else. Really, the modern days, the person goes to psychoanalyst and you are made to lie down on the couch and they put a screen also. Freudians, they put screen because the emotional attachment should not happen. Only then you will be very objective. So they put the screen between the patient and the doctor. And sometimes you don't even know whether the doctor is sitting other side or not. It seems to happen once. Doctor prepared a audio cassette saying, more. Next, what happened? What's going on? Yes, right. Just these words. Prepared audio cassettes. Whenever patient comes, you'll make them lie down on that couch, put the screen, switch on the tape, go away. One day, by mistake, even before the patient finished the statement, the audio system started telling, yes, go ahead. Then the patient had a little doubt. What is happening? He just moved the screen and saw the other side tape recorder is sitting. And next day onwards, he started bringing his own recorded version. Moment doctor goes away, he puts his cassette and goes away, that's all. Two tape recorders are sitting and listening to each other. When doctor can keep a cassette, why not me? He records in the house itself whatever he wants to say. He brings the cassette, puts the cassette, and the moment doctor moves out of his cabin, he also puts the cassette and goes away. It is nothing but two tape recorders listening to each other. Actually, man has become never so poor in the whole civilization like 21st century. In 21st century, he doesn't have even people to listen to him. Forget about healing him. He doesn't have people even to listen to him. Over. He is completely out. I don't know what is in store or what is next. I think nothing more can happen. Nothing more can happen. One thing we can all be sure, nothing worse can happen now. Everything has been done. Nothing more can be done. Nothing more needs to be done also. Nothing more needs to be done. Anyhow, Shiva says, by your very nature, you are weightless, spontaneous. If you are feeling one important technique, if you want to find out whether you are egoistic or not, if you are constantly having a heaviness around this area, if you are constantly remembering your head, be very clear, you have tremendous ego. If you are aware of your head, let you be very clear, you have ego. You may say, sometimes I don't feel aware, I am not aware of my head at all, Swamiji. When you laugh loudly, when you are dancing, when you are sitting with somebody with whom you feel connected, your beloved, rarely with your husband, or rarely with father or with mother, when you are really opened yourself, at those few moments you won't feel the boundary of your head. You won't feel you have a head. You will feel the weightlessness. Those moments really you are experiencing meditation. Those moments you are having the glimpse of meditation. When you are loudly laughing or dancing, not to show to anybody, or not as a professional dancer, just jumping for no reason. See these kids whirling, they don't whirl so that somebody will pay for them. They don't whirl, after that they can collect a ticket. No. Just jump, just whirling, just out of joy, just out of celebrating. Just because 4 or 5 are there and you can see each other in joy and you can just see the other smiles and just you are sharing the smiles. Just you are inspired by the smiles. When you jump around, same way, when you paint, just inspired by smiles. When somebody sees and he enjoys, if you are inspired just by that smile and do something, you will feel the boundarylessness in the head. You will be spontaneous. As long as you are aware or you have a boundary, you are pressured, you can't be creative, you can't be artistic. There's a beautiful story, Zen story. Disciple, great painter, was asked by the master to paint the master. Master is sitting, disciple is painting. Whole day he painted, finished the painting. When he showed the painting to the master, first thing he did, give a big blow. Simply kicked him. In Zen masters are not so-called cultured or polished. They will straight away work. They don't talk much. They don't waste time in talking. The disciple was shocked. What is this? What have I done? He said, fool, don't paint you, paint me. Don't paint you, paint me. When you do it with your ego, you will paint you. Your idea about me. How you look at me, not me. Disciple was not able to understand. Every day, 5 to 6 hours, disciple sits with master and paints. Finally, he gets just to get the beating. And it goes on and on and on for 10 days. Finally, that day, Actually, master is working on the disciple. He is teaching him how to paint egolessly, how to paint without personality, without individuality. Creating after enough of pressure, now the moment disciple sees the master, he starts shivering. He has started shivering. In those days, disciples used to be afraid of master. Once upon a time, disciples used to be afraid of master. Anyhow, finally, the last day, when disciple was painting, suddenly master says, I wanted to go to bathroom, you continue your painting. He went away. When he came back, he saw the disciple was painting without his being. He accepted that painting. Not only that, he says, now you understood how to paint without being. You may think how it happened. The moment master moved, the pressure on the disciple's head has disappeared. The pressure, he is being watched. The pressure he has to satisfy has disappeared. The moment that has disappeared, he was able to do it in a beautiful way without the being, without the personality. Before he started painting, in his head there was so many pressure to satisfy this person, this and that. So many weights were there on his head. When he started working with the master, by creating big pressure, he removed all other pressures. Actually, if you get married, you won't have any other suffering. That one suffering is enough to take away. And this reflexology, if you go through reflexology, you will not have any other pain, because that pain is enough to take away all other pains. Same way, sometimes big pains takes away all the small pains. Master sits on him and takes away all other weights. And after removing all other weights, he removes himself. And suddenly disciple feels the weightlessness.